G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_gaming for the first Dokkan video in a long time. So, got my laptop fixed, we're back in action, and I thought why not start off with the Legendary Goku GT Edition mission. And number one, probably the easiest of them all, is the Battle of Witts. So this is the team I'm going in with. I'll talk a bit more about them as we progress through the event, and yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to smash this out pretty easily. So, as you can see, I have beaten the event with these guys previously. So the advantage here is we've got the STR Goku, Int, basically the STR Vegito and Int Vegito here. Annoying that we're not getting off a super attack with Piccolo. So I'll just talk about a little bit about each of these guys. So we've got the Piccolo in here because he does 4C super attacks, as you can see in that first slot. And he is also a defensive stacker, so he does have a lot of versatility in this team. We do want to stack him up nice and early. Annoying. That's why I was irritated that we couldn't get his super attack off. He's at 90% though, so maybe maybe a hidden potential additional would fire off for me, but it wasn't to be. So we're going to get him on rotation with the Trunks. They don't link well, but two defensive stackers, they work reasonably well together. So then we've got the STR Vegito Blue. So we do have him in here instead of the physical, so that is just to make the most of his 12 key super attack, which does stack his attack and defense. So throughout this event you'll see that I am solely going for his 12 key. You do not get any extra value out of his 18 key because it is just raising the attack for the one turn. So look, it is extra damage, but you'd much rather the extra defensive statistics. We've got Tech Vegito Blue here as well. That sucks really bad. He's here as our main damage dealer. Once he does go blue, he builds up his attack stats really quickly, and he's going to wreak havoc throughout the rest of this event. So there we go. There's that first stage going. Certainly was far from ideal, but look, we're through it now. We're through the pain. So we can start off. We can get Piccolo his first stack. We can see that the super attack is in that last slot, so we'll make sure to get off the big 24 key super there. We'll be able to stack our defense for the one turn with the STR Goku and Vegeta. Trunks, even though he is a bit older in this team, he does stack up really quickly once he transforms. So we did get lucky that he did start in that 7th slot, because that means that you are able to get his transformation on the first rotation that he is in. Because he does not stack that defense beforehand. So got pretty lucky on that front. So you could take this a bit slower in the earlier stages of the event to stack up his defense and the Piccolos, but personally I think if you can get off some additional attacks with them, it's not the end of the world if you do happen to miss a couple supers. So here we go, we've got the transformation with Tech Vegeta Blue. Unfortunately, though, he does have his defense debuffed, so that is a pain. But we are going to get the finish before he is able to be attacked anyway. So not the end of the world, and we'll move on to the next stage. So again, just stacking up with the 12 key on STR Vegito Blue, and so I did go full hint potential additionals for him, just because I know when I am using him it is all solely for the longer events, because otherwise in say Super Battle Road I'm going to be using the physical for his counters. So we move on, and let's see where the super attack. No super attack here. We're not going to transform the... Wow, that's unlucky. Oh, there is a super attack in that first slot. So what we can do is we can collect those. We'll take the type advantage into that and then into that. So that actually did work out pretty well, because we would rather the Trunks get supered here. But still, he's got the type advantage. We've just gotten off an extra stack, so he'll take this for nothing. I can't remember whether this lowers defense, this Super Saiyan 2 Goku on his super attack. I think he might be. Yes, that is annoying. I think that will be what gives a lot of people trouble, is that defensive debuff. Especially when it comes to events like this, the God of Destruction. If you did watch any footage on the 6-year anniversary for what is coming, that defensive debuff does make it quite difficult, especially if you get attacked first with the super, and then there's a number of additional normals that follow. It can wipe through your health. So that's where a unit like Piccolo does come in very, very handy, just because of his ability to show you where that super attack is going to be, and you can just pre-plan a little bit better. So we'll get that, and I dare say we'll definitely finish it here, because the Tech Vegito Blue is going to wipe the floor with this little Goku. Getting the additional off with the STR is great, because again, we want to stack his defense as much as possible in these earlier stages. So only a 3.9 million attack stat to start off, which I guess isn't the most spectacular, but as you can see, we're getting off additional supers. Crits are huge, and we're going to be building that attack stat up really quickly. So by the end of the event, I dare say we'll be firing off 7 million attacks, 7 million damage numbers, that type of thing. So we'll just have a quick look. Piccolo is the better of the two. It's hard though, because I want to get the seal. Get that healing. Sorry, not the seal. This sucks. This is not how I would have liked to have ran this rotation. Obviously, I don't want Piccolo missing out on supers, but that was, yeah, and then a defensive lowered again. Those debuffs stick around for, I think, 2 rotations, so not ideal. Yeah, but I guess there's not much we can do about that. We could have sent Piccolo in that first slot, but I think we would have had to have used an item just because of the sorry, just thinking about my rotations, but just because of not being able to get off his super attack. So we get a decent little heal here. We'll add a lot to our Dokkan gauge, and hopefully we can nearly finish this Super Saiyan 3 Goku off just here. Don't want him hanging around too much longer, because he is the last of the bosses in this event that is able to lower your defense, and especially going into the Great Ape stage, you do not want any units ideally with their defense lower, but especially multiple. Even though I personally like to use a Whis straight away in the Great Ape stage, you don't want to be using multiple items in it, and you certainly don't want to be firing off all your items before the last stage. Even though Great Ape does probably hit the hardest, that Goku full Tech Super Saiyan 4 full power Goku has a lot of health, so you got to be prepared for that. So friend just obliterated there. So let's have a look. See, no super attack in this first slot, so what is there, 2 and 2, doesn't really matter how we set it up then. We'll just get as much healing as possible. Issue is now that I've just done that and we're getting our Dokkan attack with Piccolo. So obviously I should have left Trunks in that first slot. He would have done a little bit more damage because we're at type disadvantage here. That was something I really should have considered, because yeah, we're literally about to do nothing with Piccolo. While he is extremely versatile with his foreseeing the super attacks and his defensive stacking, unfortunately he's not going to be able to deal any real type of damage on this team. Yeah, a Dokkan attack for 800k is literally nothing. But anyways, we were at a reasonable health bar anyway, so we didn't need to get that much of a heal off. Ideally, you always want to be getting off that Dokkan attack with Tech Vegito Blue because I mentioned previously, he is our main damage getter here. So let's see how we go. If we collect those two, and then that gets us an 18 key with you. I should have left those physical orbs for Piccolo, so I'm probably not running this as wisely as I possibly could, making a few mistakes, but luckily enough this is quite a good team, so we should be able to power through here fine. Still, we are sitting at still 3.4 million, 3.4 health, 340k health even, if I can English. Hopefully we can get a crit here with Vegito, as you can see how quickly he's building his attack stat up to 4 million already. Nope, not that lucky, that's okay. So we can see that we're getting super attacked in that first slot. Again, not going to be able to get off the super attack with Piccolo. That is the risk, I guess, of running a rotation of Piccolo and Trunks, is that they don't link up overly well. You can struggle for key. You're sort of at the mercy of the RNG with the key spheres. But yeah, I think they do work pretty well. 280k, that's a lot more damage than I thought Trunks would take, but I think he may still have a defensive debuff active, possibly. Yeah, not ideal. Would have been not getting very lucky on the additional front here either. We can fire that into that. If we get supered here, that probably will be the end of us, but I don't want to use another item just yet. We'll save that for if we're able to finish off the Great Ape. So again, not much damage, Vegito Blue. The STR, however, the tech's obviously putting out a 5.6 on a just 18 key super, but we do need some crits from him to really maximise that damage output. Mine does have a pretty good mix of crits and additional, so there we go. He's got that 3 supers. If we can get the crit here for the finish, no. But still taking double digits on those normals, so that works out well for us. I think maybe not this rotation, the next rotation we may get the transformation for the int Goku and Vegeta that go into Vegito, so that'd be really handy. It is this rotation, so there we go, we get the full heal, so that's perfect, great timing. We're going to be going into this last turn ready to... Great. Not ideal is that we are just short of Piccolo's super attack and we are getting supered, so hopefully Trunks can get the finish for us. Otherwise we're about to wear some unnecessary damage. So 2.4 million, we might need a crit here. Let's just see how we go. That sucks. Oh, but we've got the additional, come on. I reckon we can get the finish here and we move into the next stage. Perfect, got the crit. So let's start off here again. Tech Vegito Blue, we probably don't want to put him in that second slot, but we don't actually have much of a choice because he does get his defense off of his super attacks, so we'll just be banking on him not getting supered. We could rotate him off, but then we're going to ruin the cohesion that he has with that STR Vegito Blue, as well as the fact that he is our main damage dealer. I know he is at type disadvantage here, so that's probably ideal that we get supered in that first slot. 191k is still quite a lot of damage, but because this Vegeto's got a chance to get off multiple supers here, his defense should be good against normal attacks. So we need crits here with the type disadvantage, otherwise we're not going to be doing crazy numbers. Yeah, and now only the normal gets the crit, which is pretty classical. I don't know about most people, but it seems like that's the general consensus on my RNG, and then we got dodged there. So No super attack in this turn. Thankfully, we are able to get Piccolo's super off. It feels like it's been a while since we have been able to, and he is only at the 198k defense. Luckily, he does have type advantage though, so that does work in our favour. He'll tank all of these normals, and there's no super attack on the field, so that works out again pretty nicely for us, but does, I guess, suggest that we'll probably be getting super attack next rotation, which is a bit concerning because we don't want Tech Vegito Blue being supered at all, even after he has fired off multiple additionals. So, much like Vegito Boy, Trunks is going to need to fire off some crits, otherwise he's not going to deal a great amount of damage for us. Yeah, so this is taking quite a while. But look, it's not the end of the world if this second last stage does take a while, because it does give you a really good chance to build up that Dokkan gauge and fire into the final battle with a full Dokkan gauge. Is always smart because you're going to get that heal. That's not how I thought they were going to drop. That's annoying. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. And I'm going to leave those key spheres for Piccolo next rotation. Obviously, as I said before, he doesn't have the best key links with Trunks, so we do require the plentiful orbs there, and he'll be able to give us a pretty solid heal too, because his defense will be starting to get up there. I'll check Trunks' defense next rotation too, because he got the double super off of last rotation as well. So there we go. That's the big crit that we've been waiting for. Now firing off 4.5 million additional supers is a great way to power through this guy's HP. So let's see, no crits. And then obviously tanking those normals for double digits, which is all you can really ask at this stage, especially with that type advantage. So finally, additionals. I think I did go more crit with this guy because obviously you want to maximize his counter ability. If he doesn't get, as you can see, if he doesn't get the crit on these counters, that does nothing, whereas you're getting nearly 1 million damage if these counters are crits. So pretty unlucky on the RNG side there. Again, no super attacks on this rotation. Piccolo gives us a good heal, so he's up to 225k. Trunks is up to 450k. So Trunks is certainly getting right up there. Piccolo slowly but surely doing the same thing. The only issue is that I haven't been able to get the super attack with Piccolo every time. So, and if he was able to fire off an additional here, I certainly wouldn't complain about that. He did, but not a super. But that's okay. He's taking these double digits and giving us the ability to foresee those supers. So he's certainly paid his way into this team. If you do have, I don't know if I would bring him if I didn't have many dupes in him, for those looking to make a team. But if you do have him relatively built up, say at 79%, I think he'll operate very well in this event. So we could activate the active skill for the Tech Vegito Blue. I'm going to save it for the last part of the last stage of the event against the Tech Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Just gives you another little ace up your sleeve. I don't think we really need to use it now, because unless you do get the critical hit, the active skill is not going to do a crazy amount of damage against this stage. So as you can see, no crit there, and we didn't get much reward for effort. So let's see, again, no crit. Hopefully we can get the crit with the STR Goku and Vegito and finish it and go into the next stage, because I do believe that the Int Super Vegito will be on rotation next turn. So it would have been nice to have had him firing up against the Tech opposition, but it wasn't to be, I guess. So again, we'll collect that, get the bit of heal off, get another heal off. As you can see, super attack in that first slot against Piccolo. I am interested to see how well he tanks this with type advantage. 64k, that's not bad. We can heal that back. If I'd been able to get his super attack off at a more frequent rate earlier on in the event, he'd be tanking that for much more. But again, that comes down to the key issues on this team. So Trunks with the crit gets us the finish, and we move on to the final stage. So here we are. We click through all that. I don't think we'll get our Dokkan attack off here. I'm hoping not. And then if I just see, sort of torn, that might get it off. Yeah. So that's annoying. I would have loved to have gotten the Dokkan attack off with the Tech Vegito Blue, but with so many attacks, including this super, in the first slot, Tech Vegito Blue would have got obliterated. So we do rip ourselves off quite a bit of damage output here. If I had have been carrying a Ghost Usher, that certainly could have worked well. Because then obviously it doesn't matter who's attacking you where. You just put your units where you want, because the attacks are getting wiped out. So yeah, only 1.2 mil is nothing. And we're in comparison to that 6.4 that Vegito Blue just put up. Hopefully we can get the crit at least to make it feel a little bit better. If we can get a crit at some point. Because this Goku does have a ton of health, as you can just see. But no luck on the crit front here. Multiple supers would be nice with these guys. Beautiful. Because they do raise their attack and defense for that one turn, so firing off additionals is very important for them, because they're not the craziest. Like, while their defense is good, sometimes they're not the craziest, I guess. So we'll do that into that. Look, we'll play it better safe than sorry. We'll activate that into that. We do know that super attack is coming at Trunks, and Trunks does have over 500k defense at this stage, but when you get to this point in the event, you don't really want to be risking it for nothing. So let's see how much we take. So this is with the damage reduction and his super high defense, double digits. Perfect. This will probably be the last turn that I do leave Piccolo on rotation. We are going to look to take him off and bring into Super Vegito on rotation, just because his counters ability will be really good for increasing our damage output. And there's the extra additional from the Goku and Vegeta. Again, we really need crits here for them to be causing big damage, but because of that multiple supers, their defense is fine. I guess we do have Princess Snake active as well. So we're going to have to do it like that, which is not ideal. How's that? I don't want to affect those int key spheres on the other side, so I'm going to do that into that. Remembering that Tech Vegito Blue does give himself key from his passive every time he attacks, so if you aren't able to get his 18 key initially, that's fine. Remember that he does give himself key. So we didn't get enough key there, unfortunately. But still, if we can get some crits on these supers, it would be nice. It would certainly help us on our way to getting a bit more damage output. Wow, this might hurt a lot. Yeah, 380k. Not ideal. But we still do have 2 items for us to potentially use if we feel the need. This should do a pretty good amount of damage here with the crit, 2.8 mil. And then if we get the crit counters, please. No. So 650k on a normal. Can we get the crit? Yeah, there you go. 1.7 mil. So crazy difference there. Again, pop that Princess Snake. If we do it like that, we can go into that, then into that. So everyone's still getting off their supers, everyone's still tacking. Let's see how we go. So we get 725k. It's not a crazy amount of damage. I should have checked Piccolo and Trunks' defense. Would have been nice just to have a look at the stats. I can only assume that Trunks would be well over 600k and Piccolo probably in the 400 to 500k region. But yeah, we're nearing the end of this event. We're going to be able to use the active skill now from Tech Vegito Blue. So we'll probably pop that next rotation. Oh, here you go. This is where this STR Goku and Vegeta really shine, is when you get off that triple super. Nothing would be able to attack them at this stage. As you're about to see, I'm pretty confident they'll take very little damage. There you go, 50k. And this is where you can sort of cheat with the Vegito Blue. You leave him in that third slot, even though I think we'll get the finish here. You can utilize his dodging ability by activating his active in the third slot and then moving him earlier down in the rotation. So that'll be it, guys. There you go, 4 million crit. We get the finish with Vegito. So that's it. Battle of the Witts completed. Hopefully you guys have been able to bash through this yourselves, or if you can, replicate this team and go get it done. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.